One more time. Trigger warning. This is going to be a very difficult video about sexual child abuse. If that is not a conversation that you want to sit in or be part of, or you're going to have some fucked up opinion that you want to talk about, please don't. This is for people that have experienced it or know of someone that has experienced it. If you're not part of that, please step out of the room. I am your hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, the first child of God. I am the Lilith reincarnated, the succubus herself, the goddess of sexual desire, and I'm here to help heal some sexual wounds. I'm looking for a book. Here we go. Alright, so we knew it was coming. I'm usually doing this. This is definitely a new level and a new devil. Who's devil? My own. I myself am a survivor of sexual child abuse, along with other abuses, but sexual abuse especially. During my awakening, the beginning stages of my awakening, I got the memories back. I got 4 of them in one night, of 4 different periods, different age groups. The memories came back of me being in danger and whatever. There's probably more. I'm afraid to start this because this is what happens. You start a conversation and your brain starts reaching for information to keep the conversation going. And that's how the triggers happen. I've told this story, but never having to make a class out of it. I'm gonna assume that somewhere in this book, because it speaks of Sheila Nagig, that we're gonna find something in here. If not, I'll go ahead and pull out Sheila Nagig. In order to see that whole video, you would have caught the Cycles of Time video that I did just a couple days ago. So we're still in that time, Scorpio, sexual alchemy, Sheila Nagig. I posted in my community page what happened. I got done with my video, I wrapped it all up, and I went downstairs. And I saw Morgan right away. She had this startled look on her face. She's like, I need to talk to you. I was like, alright. She's like, come over here. And she pulls me over by my car and she tells me what's going on. She's like, she gives me names like I know it. And she's like, so-and-so just told me something and I don't know what to do with it. And I don't know. I was like, what's going on? She said, and then she uses all their names, so I'm not going to use all their names. She says the kid, the handicapped people, right? You're going to have to go back to about 3 weeks ago. The handicapped man rolled up on me and asked me for a cigarette. And instead of just saying no, I lit his ass up and I told him, you guys get on my nerves being out here all the fucking time, having your kids out here while you're out here drunk and doing drugs and fucking not taking care of nothing. He didn't like that. He told his wife and she went and fucking snitched me out and then they wrote me up. Since then, they've been getting caught in all kinds of shit. So she proceeds to tell me that. And they've been in my videos for a whole week. Like the daughter, everything. That was the daughter. The mother had broke her fucking iPad. Had been high for fucking couple days. And then woke up one morning and broke her little fucking tablet. The night before she was crying. She just wanted to go inside and watch K-pop. You know what I mean? All this terrible shit. So this girl, is what Morgan tells me. She's all, the girl went and talked to so-and-so. And told her all about how her older brother has been molesting her. And that her mom won't stop it. That her mom won't stop it. What? She's like, yeah. And see, Morgan's full of energy, so she's just blurting out all the details. Not slowly. Just blurting out everything that she was told in random order. She's like, yeah, and he's been caught for this before. He's got priors. They removed him from the house for this, but then they brought him back. And there's some situation where he was in public down in the foyer freaking masturbating in front of 2 little girls. Had happened already here. So basically, you know, all this shit starts coming out. I was like, what? She's like, yeah. I was like, hold on, bro. What is happening? She's like, the girl went and told the neighbor. The neighbor recorded the whole story. And the neighbor told me. And I don't know what to do with that, dude. And she's all panicked. And I was like, I don't know what to do with that. And I'm a survivor. I said, you got to tell someone. These are mandated reporters in this building. I said, hold my dog. That's what I did. I went to walk Nana. And she held the dog. And I went in and I'm like, who's in charge? He's like, I was like, who's in charge? Who's running the show? And his Spanish is, he's like, tell me in Spanish. I was like, who is in charge? I need to talk to somebody. He's all, what's going on? I was like, I don't want to talk about it right here. He's all, dígame en español. And I tell him in Spanish. I was like, well, you know, they're saying that there's, you know, there's a guy there that one of the boys is touching the girls and all of this shit, and the mom knows, and I don't want to be part of it. I just want to tell somebody so they could do something. So then he goes and he gets, he goes and he gets the head staff lady, and I bring her out. I was like, can you come outside, please? I wasn't part of this, bro. I walked in, she tried to give it to me, and I said, we give this to an authority figure of some type. Don't give this to me. But she already did. So anyways, I try to pass the baton, and I bring out the lady, and I'm like, look. And I was like, look, this is what's happening. I guess one of the children had told one of the others, you know, tenants about some abuse that's going on here, and that tenant has spread it through everywhere, and I finally heard about it, and I don't want to hear about it. It's like, your job is to report this. She's like, yeah, we heard about it earlier. We're just waiting for the police to arrive. He's like, okay, that's it. And so she walked away, and me and Morgan are just sitting there, and here comes Diana. Remember, you don't know the stories of this. All of you are new. You're going to have to go back and catch these stories. The morning that I got into, or the morning I told that dude off, and then Diana was coming down while the wife was complaining. Yeah, there's some lady out there, and she's harassing my disabled husband and doing all this and saying all this stuff, right? And Diana just smirked because Diana had known them from a previous shelter and tried to report them, and Diana got kicked out. They made it seem like Diana was doing the most. All of this triggered me so bad because I forgot what happened at the previous shelter before I got here. You're going to catch those videos, you got to go back to November. No, I was back by October. October of last year. I'm in a shelter in fucking Arizona. And I'm sitting there with this girl and my daughter, over at the park. And they proceed to tell me that this man that just moved in with his 2 kids is touching his daughter. I'm like, what? And then my daughter's like, Mom, it's obvious. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, so here's a tenant and my daughter are fully aware that this is happening, and I'm just becoming aware. And it's at that moment I'm like, literally, there could be a hooker and leopard right in front of me, and I still wouldn't know what she was doing. So that's how oblivious I was. So when that happened, I became extremely uncomfortable at the other shelter. And I started, trying to protest about all the people and how they weren't taking care of their children and everything was. And I did the same exact shit. I panicked. I didn't know that. I didn't remember that's what made me go crazy at that shelter, was when I found out that he was touching his daughter and everybody knew but me and nobody was doing anything. Then that's what happened, and I unleashed magic and they kicked me out. So, fast forward, Diana got kicked out of the last shelter because she kept fucking pushing. It looked like she was picking on these people, these fucking handicapped people, just making problems in the shelter. She couldn't just get along like me. But she was trying to tell them they were doing drugs, that all this shit was going on. So when I got into it, she thought it was cool, and then when they started getting busted, she really thought it was cool. So here comes Diana. Diana knows this story, bro. She's like, yeah, it happened before. He was removed. It's like, there's much more going on in there, dude. I've tried to say it, but I'm not going to do this again. She's like, I know the dynamics. She says, I'm not telling my story, but you got to look at it. I was with someone 27 years older than me. Hello, put that together. I was like, and then you look back at it, literally, it's a handicapped man who's got to be between 60 and 70, and his wife is in her 30s. And she's pushing him around, so there's all of this weirdness, too. It's already weird. Everything is weird. The whole fucking Addams family is fucking weird. But here this comes, that the fucking special needs kid who's about 14 or 15, and he's in my videos. I told you, he wears his mom's clothes. She doesn't take care of him. He's over there touching the fucking 10-year-old, and the mom is aware of it. That weird father figure or whatever, is in the house. All of this shit is happening. A week ago, they got written up because she left the special needs kid in the room and couldn't find him, and came back, and they found him in another room. So there's a whole fucking story going on with these people. What does this have to do with me? That? Let's just make it worse. Let's make it as worse as it can be, right? Now all the parents are freaked out. All the mothers are all, gossiping and shit. It's all terrible. I seen what happened. As soon as it happened, as soon as Diana walked up, Morgan's like, I gotta go. I don't feel right. I'm just gonna go up with my daughter. I don't like how this feels. She left. And I couldn't fucking calm down after either. I was like, Diana's like, are you alright? I was like, my mind won't let it in. I'm completely shut down. I was like, I'm completely shut down. It won't let it in. And at that moment, I can't think. Everything shut down. I literally just went numb. I'm supposed to be getting ready for my full moon ceremony. They asked me if I'd go to the store with them. I couldn't even get in my car to go to the store. I just sat there just numb. Fully numb, turned off. And that's what I'm realizing right now. This is how I would deal with it. I just turned off. I am completely, I'm sitting here from the conscious, and I'm like, where's the brain? Where's my feelings? How come everything's off? I can't move, I can't do anything. I was sitting out there, I burnt something, I was burning yerba santo, which I don't like. It's my least favorite next to Nong Champa. I don't like the smell of that shit. I had a big old smudge stick of it, and I burned a whole thing of it. My body's covered in it. I could smell it all over my hands and shit. And I can't focus. There's my brain is turned off, and my emotions are completely turned off. As soon as it came on, I turned off. This is a next part of my therapy, and I'm trying to force it to come out, which is dangerous. And this is why I'm your spiritual healer and teacher, because I understand from a spiritual standpoint that what I need to do, and that this is going to be painful. That as soon as I open this door, I've closed the door, literally. My brain shut it off, my heart shut off, everything, it all shut off. As soon as I knew that was happening, my body shut off because it went into shock. It did what it does. When this happens, I shut off. I'm seeing it right now in my body. And so I'm going to try to get my body to turn on and talk. It might not, but now I'm at the door. I'm at the door of something dangerous. And I don't know what'll come out of there. It could just be the same memories or something new. I did realize a couple things too. It's like, it shoved me into my ex-husband, the flamer. That's what happened to him. His sister was molesting him he had a babysitter, a male babysitter that was molesting him, and I'm not sure the details of what that meant, whether it was sodomy or what, was molesting him. And then as he came home, his teenage sister was playing house with him. She was reenacting the pornography videos that she was catching from her mom's room with her brother. How long did that go on? Till he was 15 and went into juvenile hall. He was locked up from 15 to 18. I met him when he was 18. And we were together after that. But she was still there. I can tell you with full certainty, she is physically and sexually attracted to her brother. When I became aware of it, I did everything. At this time, I still didn't know any of my memories, but when I became aware of it, I became very protective of my children and my husband. I wanted nothing to do with a perpetrator. When he told this, when did it come out? Dr. Phil's fucking marriage boot camp? He told it. I sat there. He told me. It was after we got back. His sister's already been sent. His mom went to Dr. Phil's marriage boot camp. Then she sends us. After we get back, she sends his sister and her husband. We all got fucked up marriages, right? Obviously. It's your family. Anyways, we're sitting there. It's just me and him. We just got back. We're sitting there. His mom's inside doing something. And he tells me this story. He tells me, he starts panicking as he's telling me. He's crying, he's panicking. And I'm like, hold on. Same thing. I'm going to get your mother. And she has a little bit of a cry about it, but not what you would think she should have done. And she kind of consoles him. And then in this moment, they start digging up the conversation, where the conversation takes a weird turn to where now we're talking about her behaviors, and now the mother's accusing of, or contemplating that she's been sleeping with her husband too. Hey, I need privacy for this one. Oh, she's got her headphones on, but if she takes them off. So this is where the conversation happens. This is my daughter's a baby when this happens. They're at marriage boot camp. When they get back, Mom wants to go over and act like nothing's happened. And he's about to go, and I won't get out of the car. I'm not going in there. I can't act like nothing's going on. But they did, and they continue to do this. And I couldn't just be cool about it. I understand now why I couldn't. But that should also tell you a lot.
Eat them all.
That should tell you a lot, because he had told his mother before when he was younger, and she did nothing about it. He had told his father, and they did nothing about it. I don't have any memories of me ever telling. So I can show you, I don't know if that would have ever helped anything. Especially when my mom was involved. And that's what it is too. The mom wasn't stopping it. You're supposed to protect us. I forgave my mom for a lot of the incidences because I realized that she just took us to places and then would get high and not pay attention to what people were doing with us. Those were some of my memories, right? She'd just go to trap houses here in Colorado. They're not there anymore, thank God. But when I drive by, I still remember. The body remembers. Anyways, so there was those memories, but then when I had the full one when I was a teenager, and I realized that she was sending me, you know what I mean, with her friend and no money, I realized she knew what was going on. And so I'm just telling you what I've already told you with no new memories or feelings as I'm saying this. I'm completely turned off. I don't have any, I don't know if I'll cry or anything, because that's what happened. As soon as it happened, all of us shut down. Morgan shut down and took off. Diana was right there, but she was already triggered by it all because she'd already dealt with it, and it brings up her childhood. And then myself as well, we just shut down.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it in front of you. I said I wanted privacy for this video. You just didn't hear me. And I said if you took off your headphones, I was going to ask you to leave. Do you think you could go sit outside for this one?
No, I need a charger.
Okay, then go into my room, please. And if you need an extension cord, I can provide that too. But I need privacy for this one, please. I never ask. I'm asking something nicer. Not privacy.
Yeah.
No.
All you do is talk about sex anyway.
Fair enough. When she came out kind of gay, or whatever she is, I was sure it came from that side. Her dad's gay or bisexual. Her uncle came out as gay. They're all weird, bro. There's so much hidden in that family. So much sexual. And so, naturally, karma, I would be pulled right into it. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? They have... Whatever. So you can see why he hated women. Going back to my ex-husband, why he hated women, why he treated me the way he did, and why he ended up being either bisexual or full-on gay, whatever he is nowadays. I don't know. But that's where it stemmed from, is that, you know, so whatever. So here comes the story, and I'm sitting there, and my brain is, he's a teenager, and he's not well, he doesn't think like other people. Teenagers in general, like if my son didn't start masturbating at some point, which I think he is, you know, he's making those weird trips to the bathroom in the middle of the night with his phone, I would start to be concerned. Honestly, because it's a part of the growth process. Mr. Plum helped me to understand that he had some crazy stories about teenage kids, but especially about boys and them having to release themselves and stuff like that. And that gave me understanding and compassion for the priests and men that did that. I remember being like 16 years old, 17 years old, and I'm like fucking my husband all the time, and yet he's still masturbating, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Why am I not enough? I had a lot of things wrong with my head, you know? And, I remember asking about that, and I still couldn't understand, like, why do you resort to that? Mr. Plum had to, you know, Mr. Plum taught me a lot of kind of stuff to where I could have understanding and compassion and then also raise a boy. I don't have a fucking dick. I don't know how they work. But he does, and if I don't want to treat him like he's got a fucking vagina, otherwise he's going to have a fucking vagina his whole life. You know what I mean? In the essence. And then that's another thing, too. If my son turns out gay, am I going to be surprised? You have to understand the other side of the family. It's like, dude. You know, so there's all of that. And, when the story came up, it just brought up everything. It was just a world. And what was crazy is I went outside and it was cloudy. And then as soon as the story came, it was the most unbelievable fucking whirlwind of fucking, you know, it was a windstorm and there was rain and it was just like, I don't know if it was a perfect storm ready to happen or what, but it happened right when it unleashed. It was just the most. And, again, talk therapy is how you get through this type of shit. It's more common than we actually know. Because there was another man that I knew that had been rehabilitated from doing the same thing to his sister. And my older brother, I have a memory of my older brother molesting me. So it wasn't just outside members. And, as much as I don't want to talk about any of this is why I don't want to go outside, dude, because everything outside has just it makes me face the hurt parts of me inside. How hurt are you? Real bad. I've spent a lot of time, you know what I mean, pulling off the layers of my pain and suffering, but this is how I made it through life, like this, numb. Just shut down. I just shut down. Anytime I went through something, and you can see it, most epic fucking view of it is the 818 portal, the Lionsgate portal of 2023, when Russ came out of nowhere, and he's got this album, well, no, the album was coming, but out of nowhere, he just throws out this girl, and I'm like, in front of the crowd, like, looking so stupid, and I just shut down and act like nothing bothered me. And it took my spirit guides, I would say, a good 6 months to make me realize it did bother me. I kept asking them, why do you keep replaying this memory? Do you want me to be sad about this? Am I supposed to be sad about it? I could not tap into my real feelings about what had happened. It took months for me to admit it hurt. I couldn't even see that it hurt me. I had no knowledge. I mean, I didn't cry after it happened. I was just humiliated. And all I wanted to do was clean up the shame of it. I couldn't feel the pain, only the shame of being embarrassed. So I can sit here, and it's the weirdest thing is my body, you know, I spend all my time in my body. It's like, it's almost like an astral, like my spirit can't get into my body. It's like I'm outside of my body. It's very strange. The body won't let me in. It won't let me, and this is kind of, it's just intense. There's so much shit that happened to me and I just locked it all away in a compartment. And it wasn't locked away in a compartment. I had altered egos that dealt with it. I had 7 altered egos that dealt with all my pain and suffering and trials and tribulations. I was only present in professional settings, school, work, crowds, answering to authorities. That's when they needed Lisa. If you said, you know what I mean? And that's what I realized with Tree. When I was dealing with the altered egos, and I'd sit there and there just listening to them all, and, you know, their whatever, Tree would say my name, and he would have all of my ego's attention. Like, I would talk, but they would, you know what I mean? It was just like that movie in Split. It's like, if you said his name, he'd wake up. Something like that. I lived my whole life like that. I didn't know I was sick. I didn't know I was asleep. Until I started to wake up. And when I started to wake up, that's where it was. It's like, where's all my memories? They were locked in my ego because they were safe. Like right now, I can't get in. Everything. It's locked in there. Sometimes it comes out. It's a whole mystery. I can't access the most important memories. All I get are traumas. Let's go back to Bobby. I don't remember him. He says we slept together. I don't remember it. I don't know you, but I have all these feelings for you and I can't control them. I don't know why I have them. I don't know where they came from. And I just want them to go away because I'm just trying to live my life and I don't know what these feelings are. I spent all this time trying to figure out where they came from. Well, I did figure it out. I was like, I was in love with you. Then as I start to open up, I realize I unleashed the feeling. It's very alive. It's just repressed. So then I realize I am in love with you. Not was, am. That's what I'm not realizing. This is living inside of me. How do I get it out? I'm trying to get it out like the other stuff. That's how I work this. This terrible memory comes in, and it fills me with such terrible feelings. And I've got to work out of it. Otherwise, I'm trapped in it. And that's what Kobe taught me how to do. Since the beginning. And I tell you, I would get through one, and then all of a sudden the brain would shove another memory at me, and I'd be right down on my knees, crying, how did this happen? How could they do this to me? I can feel it, but I can't see it. Because that's the most common feeling through my life is how. But again, it would just turn off. I had a way of turning off my feelings. So that's why I'm here to teach everyone what it feels like when they turn on. And that's the divine feminine awakening. I wouldn't have made it through life feeling like that. Almost any of these memories would make a person want to kill themselves. Then you take on too many in a week and I really want to die. I have to be reminded that that's the past. It's not now, but it feels like it's right now, bro. I've never seen this before and it hurts so bad. I see me, a helpless me that I can't help. Just me. I see it. It's me. And I can feel what it felt like to be me in these situations. And I can't change it. I don't know how I got there. I don't know how I got out. I just have to be casted in this moment of what it meant to be me. These shattered moments where I just turned off. And I wake up in these moments and I have to turn it on and walk myself through them and get out of there. That's what I teach you around here. It's very graphic. And as she says, I'm always talking about sex. Because that's the majority of what happened to me is sexual abuse. My whole life. It didn't stop. The child sexual abuse didn't stop. I became my first boyfriend at 15. Became sexually manipulative, and the abuse continued. Along with physical abuse. Then it goes further. I look into my memories I have a memory of a man coming into my house and raping me. I have memories of my best friends raping, you know what I mean? I'm in their bed and they took advantage of me. It just kept going on and on to my ex-husband who put a laptop on my back while he was fucking me because I was pregnant. That's sexual abuse, bro. So again, when I got out of, as I say, R. Kelly's meat locker, I didn't want to be touched. I don't want a man. I just want to be left alone. I don't want nobody to touch me ever again. And then there's Bobby, that I get near him and I become unbelievably sexual with him. Am I taking out my sexual trauma on him? When I did that the first time, when he showed up and I just, out of nowhere, gave him a blowjob, I had to find a way to explain myself and I had to tell him the truth. This is what I was taught that I had to do to show love. I'm sorry, I was just trying to love you. This is what I was taught. Because they told me, if you love me, you'll do this. So that's what I try to do with him. Why? Because I for some reason, I want to. And I don't want to. I never wanted to before. But then I hold it back because of the situation. So this weekend I was like, all right, I'm gonna give in and experience this and not let it hurt me, but try to have a good experience. I'm gonna try to have sex. It did work out, obviously. You have to catch the other videos. But it didn't matter because I was brave enough and I wanted to and I was ready. That's all that mattered. And maybe I wasn't, because you look back 2 weeks ago when I got the dick pic and I wasn't ready and I started crying and I'm not ready for all this. I'm trying to be. Why? Not because I want sex. Because God wants me to. God wants me to have a happy relationship before I die. But I have to do all this to have it. And I believe in what God promised me, so I have to do what He says. But I didn't believe in it before. And it started when I was a child. And that's what happens to a lot of us. It plays out. Seeing the Menendez brothers. They said their mom wouldn't help them. If there's no one you can turn for help, then there's no help. I'm seeing KR. She lived in my apartments. Her dad was molesting her. Oh, fuck. I hear a fire. I hear a fire alarm going off. Oh, okay. I'm just sharing my story so that some of you understand how important it is. Like, you don't want to talk about this stuff, but there's a little kid or however old you were when it happened that never got to be heard because it was scared, and we're still scared. We're like, that kid is still too scared to tell you or them what really happened back then. But if you don't let that kid talk, that kid's always going to be scared. It looks all types of fucking fucked up on the outside, I'm sure. But I'm just working through my karma. I told you. Lilith was the definition of intimacy and sexual nature. And because I was uncontrolled and rebellious, I taught the manipulation of it. How to use your sexual prowess to get what you wanted. And so my consequence was to be used in this life for everybody else's sexual pleasure and for me to fear it. And so that's why I was like, if we opening this, letting Lilith out is dangerous because I'm untamed sexuality. Not from just my experiences. My experiences in life were just a reflection of who my spirit really is. And that goes back to those soul contracts, is that not all of them are, your little soulmate there. Not what you think. You guys aren't little cherubs from another land. Anyways, it's real life. When this happened with my ex-husband, I ran to my mom. I could run to my mom about everything. She just kind of wiped her mouth, and like she always would in that moment. Another Scorpio, I might point out. And I was talking about Aunt Jean. Aunt Jean was a Scorpio. November 18th was her birthday. Yep. My brother's was the 16th. Hers was the 18th. If I remember right. And then there was Shauna, and then there was my mom. I don't know, they're all right there. Something like that. Pretty sure hers was the 18th. Anyways, moving on. Just the spirits, I was trying to remember that, and that came back to me. When I told her about it, she's like, it's more common than you know, it's just taboo. That's what she had told me. My mom was, it's kind of like Forrest Gump's mom. She just had a way of telling me things where I could just leave it alone. I didn't have to ask many questions. It was kind of the end of the conversation. In the essence, she didn't make, as I'm freaking out, she made me see it that it does happen, and it does happen. She didn't have any stories to back it up. She just says that, she tried to make it okay for me. And I didn't know how to deal with it. I had no idea of my own sexual traumas. I didn't learn about them until I woke up. I didn't know anything about my life until I woke up. I just lived it. And then that's the question. How did you live it? Like this. Turned off. I would just do what my mind says to keep myself busy. I would stay busy. My real schedule before it changed, like the music and everything, no shit. I'd wake up at 6, have some coffee. I was always taught to have time for myself before the kids, so that way I wasn't stressed with the kids. So I had plenty of time to chill before I woke up the kids, so I was never stressed about them. If you wake up with them, then you're on their schedule and you're forcing them to be there on time. You're supposed to be ready for the time, right? So, anyways, I would take the kids to school in the morning and I would fall asleep. I would chill for a little bit and then I would sleep. And then I would wake up and get ready before they got out of school and then grab them. Then there was lunch, or there was, they'd have to eat. They never ate the school's lunch, so they were starving when they got off of school. They were starving. Then there would be this playtime and stuff, and then there would be dinner time. And after dinner time, I had to get them ready, and I would take them to a babysitter in Aurora. I'd drop them off about 8 o'clock. And then I would head over to the airport, and I would do airport rides. And I'd stay out as long as I could, right? Driving around through town, anywhere they took me. Sometimes I'd be up in the middle of the mountains. Sometimes I'd be in Pueblo. I'd just be gone, trying to make money. Till as long as I could keep my eyes open. And then I would pick them up anywhere from, depends on 1 to 3 a.m. I would just pick them up, throw them in the car, take them back home, put them to sleep. And then, you know what I mean, go on with the morning. That was when they were little, and then when it was school, it was a little bit different. When they got older, then I set up the camera system when they got older. But I would just go and go. I'd sleep for like 3 or 4 hours a night, and all day I would be doing shit. It was either running errands, taking them to doctor's appointments, going to fucking... I was just always going. So I never stopped. I just never stopped going. And that's why God stopped me. You know what I mean? That's why I teach you how important it is to stop and look at everything, because you'll get caught up going. Not even see where you're going. When I woke up, I didn't really have many memories. I knew my mom had died. I didn't know how long it had been, and I just felt this whole coldness, like my mom's gone. What about my brothers and sisters? What about my friends? And all of this shit. And then when he comes back, I realize he's been gone for 5 years, and I'm like, you're the last person I slept with? It's been 5 years? And then I'm like, I haven't talked to nobody? Where is everybody? It was the scariest moment. I was terrified in the beginning. I knew something was terribly wrong. That I didn't have the memories of my life. And as I watched it, I knew I had a personality disorder. I was watching, I mean, I would sit there and then all of a sudden it would snap. I didn't have control over it. It would take over. It started to, you know what I mean? It started to dissipate. The longer I was taking the diet pill, which was fucking amphetamine, you know what I mean? The longer I was taking that stimulant in my brain couldn't cope like it was. It had a program that it would just turn off or turn on, whatever the fuck it would do. But when I started taking that fucking pill, my egos couldn't fully take over. So now I'm stuck in between. As they're trying to shift, I'm watching them shift. I'm aware of this ego shifting that's happening. Personalities that are shifting. I'm seeing it happen. I'm still not the person talking. I'm not the person moving. I'm just watching myself. And when I'm done, then I'm the one in the video apologizing for my behaviors. I'm so sorry and this and that. But I still don't have control over it yet. I start working through them to start understanding, being part of them. I'm not a voice in the room. I'm just in the room watching my brain move. And that's where I still stay. Some shit will come out of my mouth. I'll be like, why did you say that? Where did that come from? It's all stored in there, and that's what I teach you. The conscious isn't the soul. It's just a fucking brain. Your ego is not who you are. It's a mask of what you wear. I know that. I had 7 of them. They were all masks. They were parts of me, but not authentic. They dressed up to be what people wanted me to be so I could make it through life. And if one didn't work, then another one would take over. Okay, I got this. I'll make sure that we handle... You know what I mean? There was certain ones that turned on during certain periods to handle certain parts of my life. Because I couldn't handle it. And that's the grace and mercy. I'm still here because of the personality disorder. And I'm so proud of them, they, me. It's not me. Like, whoever was sleeping with Bobby, whoever Bobby was dating, that wasn't me. But she lives inside of me. All those feelings that I had for you then are still here, just not the memories. I don't know the girl that you know. I'm discovering her when she's around you. And that's why I said I just want to see who I am. I want to see who I was with you. What do I do with you? How do I act with you? There's a pattern. My brain knows you, but I don't. My brain acted certain ways with people. So when people come up to me and it's scary and I don't like it, and they're like, I know you. I'm scared. You're gonna tell me about a person I don't know. A part of me I've never witnessed. I might get lucky and remember you, but not really. Not likely. It's locked away. It's filed away. The only things that come out of those files, bro, the X files, is the shit I need to heal that's still hurting me. And that's why I'm trying to just get it done. That's all it is. And that's why I treat people this way. You're just here to make me, you know what I mean? To make me face myself. Once I'm done, that's all you came to do. This whole situation right here, yeah. All it was made to do was make me face my own pain, my own life, my own suffering. It's theirs. It is. They're going through it now, but I didn't face it when I went through it. So, every time I try to get close to a man, I'm faced with all the fears, sexual fears. And they don't just come from one man or one situation. Anytime I try to get close to any of my twin flames, any part of my trauma can come to the surface. It forces it, because what I'm trying to do is get next to you, and there's an inner part of me that's afraid because of something else that happened. I'm not aware of it, but it's going to happen right now. This part of me is scared to get near you. I'm not, but this part is. And this part is scared of you because of what someone else did. So when I get near you, this part comes, or the memories come up. I kind of hate that. I really just want to get close to you, but every time I try to get close to anybody, I'm faced with my own pain and suffering. Why? Because it won't let me. Look at Marshall Mathers. Why doesn't he hang out with people? Why doesn't he go out? Why doesn't he... It's his fear. Where does that fear come from? From his own pain and suffering, what he's already experienced. He doesn't want that to happen again. So he doesn't put himself out there to get hurt again. So therefore, you never see him out. You do now, because we're healing this shit. What it was. And that's me. I don't want to go out. You hear me say it all the time. People hurt me. I don't want to go outside. I get hurt. No, I don't. They bring up all my hurt. And I have plenty of it to deal with. I like to do this on a schedule. I don't want to do this all day, every day, but that's how I got here. I had too much hurt. I had to go through layers and layers and layers of it every single day, to where my kids know the full terminology of shadow work. That's all they've seen, is me sit here and dig up my fucking memories and cry about them and heal them. And teach them how to be kind and not experience those things. Teach them my lessons. And that's how I heal them, because I learned them. I didn't learn them when I had them. So they had all my unhealed fucking karma. So here I quit and I teach them, so that inside they have the inner healing to face it like I do, which is that soul. I didn't, you know what I mean? It's Kobe. It's Pac. And sometimes it was, you know what I mean? Someone like Lewis in the darkest. I'm on the floor, bro. This hurts so bad. This memory, whatever it is, it hurts so bad. I can't see nothing but darkness. And I just want to die. And then I could hear somebody's kind words get me out of it. Say something that would make me wake up, where I could blink my eyes and maybe light a cigarette and come back to reality, to get out of that place. I'd been doing this for a long time before I got the books to explain what I was doing, which was alchemy. I didn't know that's what I was doing. I knew that dark practitioners were pushing all this shit to the surface, but I knew that I needed to deal with it. It was just a lot. And that's why I tell you, I'm the girl that lived. And I can help you do this. But running from it isn't going to help. It's still in there. And shutting it down, I know how that is, and that's what it is. My men, we all suffer from all of the same emotional wounds, not mental. That comes, the mental, I don't know, if we all went to the same doctor, they'd probably label us all the same shit. But that comes from the different doctor, and depending on who told what. If all of us told all of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, they'll label us with the same shit. But Marshall may have not told everything. Logic may have not told everything. Lewis may have not told everything. You know what I mean? Russ may have not told everything in fucking therapy. Fucking Royce isn't telling everything in therapy. So if you're not telling them, they can't make an accurate diagnosis when you're not telling them all of your symptoms. I'm just saying that. But we know for sure all of us have OCD. All of us keep our shit fucking organized. We are control freaks, perfectionists. All of us have that. Shall we go deeper? And that's it. When you're ready, you know what I mean? And that's where you find out. There's us, but we're no different from you. If you told the truth and we could find out that we're all hurting from the same shit. Not the same shit, we're all hurting the same. We're all dealing with the same load of feelings. Different levels of it. It came from different places, but the feelings are consistent. We can all have different experiences, but have the same feeling. And that's where we come together in this pain. We come together in our pain not to stay in pain, but to heal the pain. I'm going to go into this painful place, but I'm not going to be like these girls and go in there and shut down and, you know what I mean, try to self-soothe. And that's what happened. All of us, we went into our self-soothing, our coping mechanisms. What was mine? I mentally and emotionally shut off. How do they mentally and emotionally shut off when they're dealing with that kind of pain? Mine just doesn't mentally. I didn't need to take a drink or do any drugs. But it might trigger them if that's the only way to make this go away. I just need a drink and I can make this go away. I just need to do it, you know what I mean? I just need to get away from here. And that's where it is. You're running from your pain. You're trying to soothe it. But the only way to get rid of it is to really get into it. And it hurts. It's an epic thing for me to sit here and teach. If there was one thing, you know, without all the details, you're just taking pieces of this video and just telling you this is what I do. This is what other people can't teach you. They can't teach you to be honest and open up like this. To face the shadow, as Carl Jung said. I have a card right here that we didn't pull, and I can put these up after I do. These are my deep, dark, and dangerous cards. We haven't got through all of them. We were on this one last week. 28. Hunger. Vampire. I went to 18. Beware of those draining your energy. Seek equal relationships. Think before making a serious relationship decision. You should not let your desires get out of balance. Addictions must be acknowledged and healed. Know what gives you energy and what takes energy away. Jesus, if we haven't been talking about all of this. Duality, life and death, depletion and fullness. There are sometimes sexy, seductive, full of desire, and yet terrifying at the same time. The timeless attraction of blood-consuming vampires is a paradox and is one that crosses cultures and timelines. Although the beautiful and somewhat desirable vampire form did not really begin to enter the public consciousness until the mid-1800s, the idea of a human feeding upon the very stuff of life is much older. The Greeks, Egyptians, Sumerians, Indians, Balkan people have myths containing vampire-type creatures. Chupacabra. While there are almost uncountable examples of vampires in literature, movie, and games, somehow the archetype of blood-hunting, night-stalking, and somewhat elegant creatures keep being reinvented to seduce yet another generation. We call them energy vampires. And I tried to explain to you what they are. Russ is my biggest energy vampire. Oh yeah, he's sitting there all day trying to take all the joy and all the goodness out of all my videos. Take all of the life out of my videos and make his life better with it. He's a super vampire. Or, I'm sorry, a pirate. This is why why is it that this horrifying form can still seduce so much? Perhaps it has something to do with strong yearning to be adored and desired. Having someone want us that much, who has the desire to be closely linked with us even down to our blood, can feel good. Until, of course, we realize there is nothing much left of ourselves to give. I stopped because I said something to Bobby and they're saying it triggered him. What did you say? I said, you're just as anointed as me. You would have to be for you to have access to me. You just don't walk in it. I think I might have said you're covered in the blood of Christ too. You'd have to be anointed to be in my presence, bro. You have to be anointed to have me. You have to be chosen by God. That's what I didn't say all of this, but I mean, that's what I said. And I guess that might have bothered him. I don't know, whatever. He doesn't know his, well, obviously, he doesn't know his worth. Most of us have heard the concept of emotional vampirism, the idea that people feed off our energy and our virtue. It is important for us to guard against such incursions and avoid being unnecessarily manipulated or hurt, understanding that we need to develop our power from the inside out, and doing so is a great start in protecting ourselves from such people. Ensuring we establish healthy boundaries with others in another. We should be crystal clear about what supplies us with energy and what depletes us. We should do more of the energy supplying acts and understanding what we cannot do too much of depleting stuff. Whatever. I'm having a hard time grounding this, like being in the words. We are all more susceptible to vampires of all kinds if we're tired, worn down, and uninspired. Plant companion is the gardenia, and the crystal companion is the aventurine. I have some of those. I think I have that in my thing. That's interesting. It goes from vampires to werewolves. Really? Yeah, it's the next card. I want to say that we changed the subject, but not necessarily. They're stealing youth. My kids are coming back into the conversation, coming out, and I don't want to force them to stay in there. I'm stuck between two places now. I'm stuck in the card and I'm stuck in the teaching. I'm trying to put the two together. Again, I'm not in my normal state right now. My brain, everything's shut down, so I'm trying to operate from outside of the body. Seriously? Yeah. And I mean, I'm here, but it's like I'm outside of the consciousness is what that means. An out-of-body experience is outside of your consciousness, meaning I can't break into my brain right now, I can't get it to turn on. It's turned off to what has happened. And I guess that's just to teach you is the shutdown. How do you shut down? What does a shutdown look like? Do you notice when you're shut down? When you're physically tapped out? You've clocked out? And you're emotionally shut down? It means you can't. You don't even know what you're doing. Like, I can't focus. I'm not even going to try to attempt to go do any full moon rituals or do anything. I'm not in the right mind space for that. I'm not in the right space for that. And that's it as I'm not failing God by being pushed into my shadows, by not meeting this, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, if you don't do your ceremonies and offerings, you're not a true pagan witch and you're failing. No, bro. I'm being called to a whole different type of service right now. I'm being called to service my own problems. You know what I mean? There's a problem here. Because at any point, you know what I mean, you see this, those shutdowns are dangerous. I know what caused it, and that's good, but I need to figure out another way to cope. You can't just shut down. And that's what I did. As soon as she gave me it, I turned off. I was listening, but I wasn't accepting what she was saying. And the same thing, she did too. She shut down and she's gone. Same thing with, I didn't see Diana all day. And I was like, what's up? She's like, dude, I just knew the energy was off. I just been hiding. It's like, it's been off all fucking day, bro. And that's what I said. It was all off, you know. Damn. Damn. It makes things, you know, so it's not like it goes away. It won't go away until it's dealt with. I can maybe turn it off, but it's only gonna, you know what I mean? Like, when I go outside, you know what I mean? Seeing them or anything is gonna trigger it back up. I'm no longer caring about what you said. It has nothing to do with your family anymore. Do you see this? All I could do was report it to someone that could report it. That's all. And when I found out they reported it, it's no longer to do with what I saw. I'm dealing with me, which is actually just the fact that I shut down, and this is what I was afraid of, right? So I tell everyone, in sex, I black out. That's what I told Russ. It's like, all I remember, dude, about Bobby. My son's listening. Maybe he's not. It's like, all I remember is him sticking the tip in, and I black out. It's the only sex memory I have. And it's Bobby, not any of my husbands, not anybody else. Nobody else. Do I have any other, just him. So I tell this to fucking Russ, and he decides to write nasty and shit like that. And that's where it is. So then I see him, I tell him about that. Bobby comes to my house, I give him a blowjob. The second I close the door and he walks out, I've blacked it out. I know I just did it, but I can't see it. The actual visual of it is gone, and my feelings are turned off. It's a trauma. It's what happens. So that's why I was like, I want to be present. I don't want to forget. So then when I saw him this last time, I remembered. But I also astral project out of it. I came out of it and saw it and everything too. So it could have been that, as after I pulled out of my body, I was actually able to see what was happening. But I had the memory this time, which was growth, because I had no memories. And that was my biggest fear. I don't want to just keep forgetting this happening. I don't want to go blank. I mean, I don't. I perform well, apparently, but I'm not there. Because I don't have the memory, which means I don't have the feeling. The feelings are in the memories, dude. Okay, that's not true. I felt sore. But I couldn't, I was like, how long did we fuck? I didn't know how long we were, like, I literally had to ask him. Finally, I asked him one time, how many times did we hook up? He's like, I don't know, like 10 or 12. And I'm panicking. I still can't get one memory, and you're telling me I've had sex with you. And that even makes it worse. I slept with my husbands for years. No memory. I would just close my eyes and just go to work. Conversations are fun until you realize what's really going on around here. It's all fun and games until you realize I can't really, I'm close. It sounds like I'm really close. I've always sound like I'm ready. No. That's what I said in last week's video. Every time I think I am, I get to a place like this and realize I'm so far from being ready. It's not true. I was ready. I think. But I don't know. Just because I think, I don't know what will happen. I might just panic and cry. A child part of me might see you and a memory come up and I panic. And I don't want that to happen. That would be terrifying for you and for me. If that happened and I said that, I don't want some man to drop his pants and I just start crying. And I can't tell him and I don't know how to explain. And this just ruins the whole fucking scenario. Because I'm so fucking unhealed. And then sometimes you just want to give up. It's like, I have to deal with this. I have to deal with this. I can't get out of it until I deal with it. I'm stuck in it. I'm sorry I ruined our date. I'm sorry that, this memory came up. I'm sorry that I don't know how to deal with it. I didn't know that this was going to make me feel this way. I didn't know that I had a memory attached here. I didn't know. I don't know. Forgive me. And that's where I have a lot of forgiveness for people. You know what I mean? Especially unfeeling people. I know what it means to have your feelings turned off. To just be numb. I know how to turn it off. The question is how to stop that. How do we stop going numb to things? How do we allow ourselves to feel it even though it's not going to be good? I didn't dig anything out but the conversation, and sometimes that's all it is just a difficult conversation can bring you some peace. But just this dude, I'm serious, just sitting here, bringing up those memories, the ones I did, because as I'm telling you stories, I'm seeing pictures. That's where the stories come from pictures. They're memories. They're pictures that are embedded in my mind, and I have feelings behind them. I don't have many memories. As I'm telling you them, I'm hurting right now. And it wears me out, just reliving my life. My life wears me out. It's hard that's why God has a hard time, you know what I mean? I can't just get a job. I can't just be around people. You'd look at me as a whole psych patient, but I'm not. I'm just emotionally damaged. Severely emotionally damaged. I have the mental capacity to make it through this. It's the emotions that come over me that stun me. The emotions stun me, and then it takes me back to a repressed memory, and that's where it gets real hard. But I've done this enough that it's a science to me. It's a process. It's a fucking marathon. I know how to deal with this. I just have to deal with it. Give me time to deal with it. And, when this shit is happening, it's like God can't just put me anywhere where people are triggering me all the fucking time. And I'm just gonna, it happened to me at that job.